Come on in here and get better at your notary business. This is Jeff Veal, your favorite #1 notary. I think I'm the #1 notary in Chicago. If I'm not, who is? Then, because I'm doing about $2,500 a week. I'm doing about $7,000 to $11,000 in general notary work. Consistently a month. I could do more easily if I want to, but I'm working on other projects. I can turn it up anytime that I want to. So thanks for tuning in today. I plan to give you a lot of great value today. My goal is to bless you, and then maybe you could bless me. My goal is to help you. If you want to become a part-time notary, you're just doing this as a side gig, you're trying to improve your financial earnings in the notary business. If you're trying to make $200,000 a year in notary, then maybe you'll support me. Maybe then you'll throw me a couple $1,000s. And if I get that from 50 to 100 people, then hey, I'm winning. But if you want to support me, check the descriptions on every video. There's always a lot of good things in there. There's notary tools in there that you can use to help improve your notary game. Straight up and down, I really appreciate y'all. Really appreciate you all tuning in. So today's topic is I want to talk about common mistakes made by new notaries. I see a lot of mistakes made by new notaries, and I want to talk about them. But before I get into that, I got a couple of tips for the day. It's starting to turn into a ritual. I give tips of the day. So the first tip today is get an embosser stamp. I've had two customers, I should say, that have asked me, do I have an embosser stamp? And I didn't. And I missed out on that business. So I just broke down. I went on Amazon. I paid I think $33 to get an embosser stamp. And I probably won't get another call for an embosser stamp job for another 6-8 months or something. But hey, better to, how do they say it? It's better to be prepared than not prepared and not needed. Bonus tip today too. Bonus tip is laminate your license. Laminate a copy of your license, carry it around with you, because there's a lot of scams going on today, as you already know. You know how skeptical people are and how untrusting people are. And on a fairly regular occurrence, customers ask me to see my license. So when you can be like, bang, here it is, that makes you look professional, and that gets that part out the way. And you can also tell them to look up your notary commission on the Secretary of State's website in your individual state. So to the topic today, common mistakes made by new notaries. The first mistake that I see in newer notaries is anxiety. Our beloved Bears quarterback Caleb Williams said when they asked him, does he get nervous? He says, no, he doesn't get nervous because he's always prepared. That applies for your situation too. Know the notary rules and know the laws from top to bottom. That's one thing that's going to help you overcome your anxiety. Another tip is to control your environment. Control the environment. You know, now, typically when I walk into a house, as I'm going in there to do a notary, you exchange pleasantries. Hello, how you doing? I like to compliment the customers on their home, tell them they have a beautiful home, compliment them on their art, etc. Then you sit down, and then you can kind of feel at that moment when you sit down, the customer is going to start to kind of take control. They're going to pull out the document. They're going to, do whatever they're doing. And at that point, that's when I say I can get started with everybody's ID who's going to be signing today. And that puts you in control. That gives them, they want you to take control. So that's your first step. Then the next step is you have them sign your journal. You enter their information into your journal, have them sign, and then it's off to the document itself. So you want to start to get a routine. And when you start to get a routine, that makes you feel comfortable because it's less anxiety for you because you know what's coming next. And going back to when I say take control, is I've noticed with some newer notaries, how can I say it? I don't want to sound offensive, but you've just got to play the role. That's what I'm trying to say, is you got to be comfortable. You got to be comfortable because the customer is drawing off of your energy. So if you're in there and you're not seeming like you're knowing what you're doing, that's going to make them nervous. And then when you make them nervous, that's going to make you even more nervous. So, yeah, control the environment. Also breathe, take deep breaths. Move slowly through the notary process. You don't want to rush into a mistake. The next one is have a mentor. It always feels good to have somebody that you can call to give you advice when you're entering into new territory. The greatest, even Michael Jordan had a coach. So everybody needs a coach to speed up your learning process. The next tip is, under anxiety, is knowing that mistakes happen. You are going to make mistakes. So don't be in a rush to make a mistake, but know that it's eventually going to happen some way or other. You're always going to get blamed if something goes wrong, even if it's not your fault. So just do the best that you can do, and keep your errors and omissions insurance up to par, and just know it's all part of the game. And the next one is know where to find quick answers. ChatGPT, I swear to God, is like my business partner. I'm talking to ChatGPT all day about random thoughts that come into my mind. And I still get customers that ask me questions that I don't know the answer to, or sometimes they may phrase it in a way that I don't quite understand. So I'll ask that question on the spot, and I'll just say, hey, excuse me, give me a second. Let me look that up because I want to be sure. I look it up and then boom, rather than calling your referral source to ask them the question when you can find that out on your own. So, and a lot of times if your referral source is giving you work, it's because they're too busy and, you want to try to stay out of the way. Now, conversely, on another end of the spectrum of that, there are many times where the best thing to do is to call somebody who knows, whether it be a lawyer or a company. Like, if you're gonna cross out, they have the state and the county pre-populated. It's always best in that situation to call and find out what they want you to do, because it's different from document to document. The next common mistake made by new notaries is they don't schmooze their referral sources. A message that I've been putting out in the atmosphere and online lately is trying to get people to understand how many notaries there actually are. It's a low barrier to entry to become a notary. There's thousands of notaries out here. That's why I don't encourage the loan signing sources. But schmooze your referral sources, because you are replaceable. You are replaceable. Now, the more you can do and the better service that you have, and you can make yourself less replaceable, but it's not hard to find a notary in most cases, unless you live in like small town where there's not that many people. Then you might be the only game in town, but you're probably not making a lot of money because there ain't that many people there to serve. So the next one I would say is, when I refer business to new notaries, they ask me too many questions. They ask me too many questions as though if I answer these questions, then that's gonna be all that they need. And really what they're saying is the more information that I know, the more comfortable that I'll be. But you just have to be, I don't know, help me in the comment section. You just have to be the type of person that can think on the spot and keep your cool under pressure. Because you're gonna be thrown into situations that you're unaccustomed to. So, you know, I get so many calls that I don't usually get the customer's name. Now, it is charismatic to address people by their name, but when you're doing a lot of business, you don't have time to know everybody's name and develop a relationship with everybody. The main thing that builds rapport is when you handle your job competently and efficiently. That's when they love you. That's when they're gonna remember your name, save your phone number, and call you back when they need you again. So just don't ask the right questions, but don't think that, you know, what color house do they drive and what, you know, no, you go in, you sign the paper, you stamp it, get the money and get out of there. The next one is not having a grasp on technology. Technology is very important. Now I'm gonna do a show in the next, coming up pretty soon, but I have to work on some technical stuff with my editor about the ways that you can use technology to your advantage as a notary. I use technology a lot in my business. So for example, Google Maps, Google Lens. This is gonna be in my next show, how to use Google Lens, using Google Translate, setting, if you know you're going to a specific location on another day at a specific time, there's a way that you can go into Google and set the departure time to see how long it's gonna actually take to get somewhere. The last one, this should be a simple one, but everybody doesn't do it. Now, this is so important because I've called a lot of notaries over time, and you will find if you do the same, I don't care what city, state, or world you're in, when you call a lot of notaries, they don't answer their phone. They have robotic people answer, AI technology answering their phone, or it goes to voicemail, or their phone is disconnected. So, a lot of notaries are part-time notaries. So when they're at work, they just don't answer the phone. They don't return phone calls. So if you can just be on top of your game as far as when it comes to answering your calls and returning text in a timely manner, you're gonna make more money. You're gonna be beating 85% of the notaries out there just by doing that. So I hope I brought you some value today. I hope to bring you a lot more value in the future. Remember, like I said, check out the description. There's always good goodies in the descriptions, things that can help you, things you may want to purchase to increase your notary business. And so that's it. Just remember, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. And if you need a mentor, let's talk about it. Tell me where you're lacking. Tell me where what are you struggling with? What do you want me to make a video about? Give me some video ideas. I'll make them. I'll shout you out. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.